going on, guys? Thank you for joining me on another video. Hey, so for today's video, I'm just heading back to my buddy Ryan's shop. We're gonna see if we can track down this small oil leak that I have going on, and then while he has the car on the lift, checking everything out, seeing if we can find the oil leak. I'm gonna mess around with the airbag struts because they're a little uneven right now from when we installed them. We just kind of like threw them on. We didn't measure everything out, so now on my rears, the passenger side is the strut tower is threaded down lower than the one on the driver's side, if that makes sense, because I know they're not coils, but they still strut up and down before you raise and lower the inflatable bag. The one on the passenger rear is strutted down lower. When I fully air out, the rear passenger side sits a lot lower than the rear driver's side, and I've been trying to counterbalance it with the air pressure in the ride. As you can see right here, on the passenger side I got it at 64, and on the driver's side I have it at 76, and they're about at equal height right now. So instead of it being, 70 and 70 across the board, I got to do like low 60 and then high 70 just so they counterbalance themselves, and that's ghetto as hell. So I need to fix that because that's not right. Tracking down the oil leak. We think it's from my sandwich plate from the oil filter. If not, we're just gonna keep looking, but that's where we're gonna start out at. And while he's doing that, while he's doing that, I'm gonna mess around with the rear components. Jaguar Stadium. Hopefully they do better this year, because I don't know what the hell's going on with them. I mean, the Jaguars are not my team per se. I'm a New York Giants fan. I've always been a New York Giants fan because I'm from up north. But I don't dislike the Jags, and I've been to their games, and it's a good time. They're not all rowdy and pieces of shit like some other football games I've been to. But yeah, they were doing so good, and then they just did ass this year. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe next year. So yeah, a lot of you guys have been asking me on a video on the whole air suspension thing for the 300ZX, and I want to do one, but there's a couple of things I want to fix or knock out first before I do a video. One of those things is I want to gather all the information that I need for the video, because I don't want to be giving out false information or misinformation, And then, but most of the video I will probably be talking about, personal experience. For those of you that follow me on like Instagram, I'm sure you guys are aware that I'm part of a car group called Gentleman Z, or Gents, depending on how you want to pronounce it. I prefer Gentleman Z. Some people say it's pronounced Gents, but whatever, Gentleman Z. Anyways, I'm part of the Florida chapter, and normally we have meets for all the members of the chapter, throughout Florida. And there's going to be one here in Jacksonville hosted by myself and another local member, and it's going to be at Adrenaline Performance, and it's this Saturday coming up. So it's like the 22nd of February. And it's gonna be really cool because it's not just, you know, the chapter members that could go. It's open to everyone. They just, you know, expect all the chapter members to be there. And I've invited a bunch of my friends to go, a bunch of local people to go, and there's gonna be some other people driving into the meet, and it's gonna be at Adrenaline Performance. It's gonna be a great time, and I'm gonna record that, and yeah, it's just gonna be a good video, I think. And if you guys enjoyed that, once it comes out, just let me know. And we are here. For those of you who don't follow me on IG, you're probably like, well, what the fuck is Gentleman Z? What is that? And I can make my own video on that, but just to give you like a little breakdown, Gentleman Z is a car group that was founded and created in California. We had a group that focused on Z's and G's, you know, and high quality versus quantity. So he wanted, like, you know, if you have a really sick build or clean build or drift, whether you drag or you're just straight show, slow and go, you know, whatever. If it was, you know, something you put your heart into and it showed, he wanted you to be part of the group. And over the years, the group has gotten really big group, and we have chapters in at least 10 states right now. And you know, it's just a bunch of car enthusiasts. We just hang out. We're nothing crazy special, like, you know, we're not like, you know, superior to other car groups or anything like that. But it's just a Z group, and there's probably one in your state or in your area. And if you have a Z or a Nissan, something clean, just look them up. You might like what you see. You might like what that group is doing, and you know, you probably have a good time. What up, dog? What are you wearing? update real fast. We cleaned up the oil cooler and the sandwich plate and everything so we could track down the oil leak. So we tracked it down, and it's definitely coming from the sandwich plate of the oil cooler. So I'm gonna go ahead and order the parts I need, some new fittings, and I'm gonna bring it all back, and he's gonna, you know, Teflon tape it up and liquid Teflon it, just so I don't have any more oil spills. It's nothing too serious, but I want it to be, you know, the car leak free. And then for the air suspension in the rear, I was having this issue where it was uneven on the rear sides. You know, one side was dipping down lower than the other, and I think I thought at first it was the struts that needed to be, you know, evened out. I thought one strut was lowered, like compressed more than the other. It turns out not to be the case. We took the rear wheels off to take a look at it, and they look pretty even. They're both like bottomed out right near the bottom, so that's not the issue. And then we went ahead and measured some things. Everything looks good. So what I did was run another auto calibration, and it kind of fixed the issue. They're both leveling out evenly now. So yeah, everything's all buttoned up on the car, and probably that's gonna be it for this episode. All right, I appreciate you guys joining me. I know it's not much, but I'm gonna keep the videos rolling, and if you like what you see, just like the video. It helps out a lot. And if you can subscribe to the channel if you want, that helps out a lot too, and I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. What is that, boobs or death? Death Star?
I threw boobs and I was like, wait, how looks like the Death Star?
Boobs or Death Star? You tell me.